Do you still plan your next move using the 2023 or 2024 Digital Nomad Guide? If you do, you are at risk. The Digital Nomad Gold Rush is officially cooling down. As a matter of fact, countries that spent years inviting remote workers are now raising income thresholds, demanding real tax compliance, shortening stays, and in some cases, shutting down the program completely. I'm Bibian with Triple G. If you work remotely, freelance, or live as a full-time digital nomad, this one matters. Between 2020 and 2025, more than 60 countries launched digital nomad visas. The pitch was simple: come live here, spend money, keep your foreign salary, and we won't bother you much about taxes. That era is ending. 2026 has become the year of the crackdown. Why is this happening right now? Four pressures hit at the same time. First is housing. In Lisbon, Barcelona, Mexico City, Canggu, in Bali, and parts of Thailand, rents climbed fast. Locals got priced out, protests happened, and politicians noticed. Second, there were tax leakages. High earners were living full time in these places, using the infrastructure while paying almost nothing in local taxes. Governments started calling that as a problem. Third, we had a tourist visa abuse. A lot of people never bothered with the official nomad visa, they just kept renewing tourist stays. Indonesia finally got serious about this in Bali. The fourth scenario, where there were better enforcement tools, AI, banking data, social media checks, and cross reference border records, made it much harder to stay under the radar than it was even 2 years ago. The result is clear still. From come one, come all to prove you're worth it and follow the rules. So, what actually changed in 2026? Let's look at the bigger picture. Spain now ties the income requirement to the minimum wage, roughly 2,849 euros per month for a single applicant. Documentation is tighter, immigration is cross checking taxes and social security records. Rejections are up. Portugal closed the famous NHR tax regime to new applicants. The replacement IFICI is much narrower and mostly limited to specific research, innovations, and high value roles. So, most freelancers and general remote workers will not qualify. The D8 digital nomad income bar sits around 3,680 euros a month. Greece closed the easy in country application routes. You now have to apply at the consulate before you arrive. The income threshold stays at 3,500 euro net, and the 50% tax reduction is still available if you qualify. Indonesia and Bali turned aggressive. They have an official remote work visa, but they're actively hunting people working on tourist visas. Tax forces, social media monitoring, LinkedIn checks, and hundreds of deportations happened in the first half of 2026. Influencers doing sponsored content on tourist visas are getting hit hard. Antigua and Barbuda finally discontinued a Nomad digital residence program for new applicants in November of 2025. Existing holders can finish their terms, but the doors are now closed. Colombia raised its income threshold with a minimum wage. Approval rates dropped and scrutiny increased, especially around background checks and whether your work profile fits. UAE and Dubai raised the income floor, lengthened bank statement requirements, and increased insurance demands. Canada has no dedicated nomad visa, but officers now demand clear proof that all your income is earned outside of Canada and that you will not enter the local labor market. Other European programs in places like Croatia and Estonia added more paperwork and higher standard of proof. Some Southeast Asian country options are still competing and formalizing rather than shutting down. So, is the party completely over? Not exactly. More than 60 countries still offer some form of remote work pathways, but the low friction, low tax, easy renewal version that existed in the early 2020s is largely gone from the most popular destinations. So, what we are seeing is a two speed world. One group of countries is raising the drawbridge, higher income, stricter tax rules, more documentation. Another group is still trying to attract nomads, though they are formalizing the process. Income thresholds in many places have risen 20 to 50%. 6 to 12 months of bank statements, employer letters, tax returns, and proof of proper accommodations are now normal. Short tourist bookings often do not cut it anymore. Tax residency is the quiet killer. The old stay under the 183 days and your fine rule is dying. Economic substance tests look at where you actually live, where your partner is, where you rent long term, and where your life is centered. The mandatory local tax IDs are spreading. So, what should you do actually? Stop trusting old blog posts and 2022-2024 guides. The rules changed fast. Budget for higher income proof and professional documentation preparations. Prefer formal digital nomads or remote work visas over endless tourist extensions in enforcement heavy areas. You should track substance as carefully as you track days. Housing, relationships, and local ties matter more now. So you have to build your optionalities. Having residency option in more than one country is becoming a real advantage. And if you're American, remember US worldwide taxation still applies. FEIE and foreign tax credits remain your main tools, so the lifestyle is not dead yet. It's just maturing. The people who treat it like a serious compliant way of living will keep doing fine. The ones still trying to game the system with tourist visas and outdated income numbers are the ones getting surprised. That's the 2026 picture. If this was helpful, drop a comment and tell me which country you're currently based in or eyeing next. I read them all. Subscribe if you want straight, no hype updates on remote work visas and independent lifestyle. And if you want me to go deeper on any topic, any specific country, Spain, Portugal, Thailand, Bali, Colombia, whatever, just say the word. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.